Hi guys, this is HeyJay Stylexio Fashion Academy. Welcome to another tutorial. Today we'll be learning how to make this beautiful corporate gown with asymmetrical style lines and hem. It's a very beautiful dress and it's a very easy tutorial and it's beginner friendly. I already have a sketch of it. Most times when you want to make an outfit and you just try to do a rough sketch, it will give you more idea on how to go about it. So you can see it. The shaded part represent the black part. So I'll be working with my rulers and my scissors and my pencil and my eraser and my tape. Okay, this is pattern drafting anyway. So I'm going to be working with all of these materials. So first of all, I'm going to be folding my pattern in two because I'll be constructing it on fold. So I'll be folding my pattern in two. This is because we're creating style line in the full front bodies. So folding our pattern into, we're going to be creating the pattern in full. Okay, so I'm working with the shoulder of 16.5 divided by 2 is 8.25. The bust is 40 divided by 4 is 10. That's the shoulder to nipple, shoulder to underbust, the front length, the back length, okay, then which is the half length, the shoulder to hip 25, shoulder to knee is 42, the gown length is 45, but over the course of the tutorial I might increase it. The waist roundness is 39, the hip is 46, and then the bust span is 8 divided by 2 is 4. So I'm going to be using this now to construct this beautiful gown on our pattern. Now the front length and the back length, they are different, which is the front half length and the back half length. So the difference between the two of them, which is 17 minus 16, is 1. I'm going to be showing you how to use it to make your bust dart, okay, for your bust dart technique. So you're going to be learning that how to use it. So first of all, we'll do the first line, then we'll label it our shoulder line. Then the next line we rule is our shoulder to nipple. Okay, so we're going to be ruling the next line, shoulder to nipple, which is 10.5. So I'm trying to make this tutorial as detailed as possible. Like I said, it's beginner friendly. So someone who is a beginner, a complete beginner in tailoring would understand this. And then thank you guys for your comments and your reviews where you say my tutorials are very easy to understand. I am really grateful, and with that excitement, I really want to explain more here. Okay, so the next measurement is shoulder to underbust, which is 14. So you place the tape on the shoulder and then you get 14 inches. So this is our underbust line. So this is basically how to get your horizontal lines when you're making your basic bodice pattern. So we've ruled that line. We're going to be labeling them. The front length we said is 17. Front length means shoulder to natural waist. So the shoulder to natural waist here is 17. So mark 17. So you take the person's natural waist. We have a tutorial on how to take body measurement. You can check it out so you know where the natural waist actually is. Not the part you call waist. There's another natural waist in tailoring. The shoulder to hip is 25. So I'm going to be marking 25. So every measurement we are taking from the shoulder, I'll just place it on the first line that we ruled called shoulder line, and then you take all your measurements. So it's serving as the shoulder of the person, but we're doing it on a flat pattern now. So you're trying to construct a dress for a human on a paper. So that is basically it. And then we're going to take the knee length and then the full gown length. So we're just going to mark all the measurements and then rule the line across them. So this is it. So when you want to make yours, you use your own body measurement to do it. Like I said, there's a tutorial on how to take body measurement, a tutorial how to take your own measurement or the measurement of somebody. We'll have both tutorials on the channel, so you could check them out. You can take your own measurement in front of a mirror, or you could take a measurement of someone. So I'm labeling them. The first label was full length. The next one was knee length, hip. Now this is the waist. This is the under bust, and then this is the bust line. So we're going to get the chest line, which is the armhole. The armhole is what we call armpits for non-tailors. So it's called armhole in tailoring. So the armhole line, you go up by 2 inches from the bust line to get your armhole line. So call that line chest line. So that's where your chest actually is. So now we've gotten all our horizontal lines. We're going to be taking our other measurements now. So on this line, we're going to take our shoulder measurement. The shoulder, we're dividing by 2. So 16.5 divided by 2 is 8.25. So I'm going to mark 8.25. If you don't know how to read the tape rule as well, we have a tutorial on the channel on how to read tape rule. So you can check it out as well. It will help you in reading tape rule. I'm going to be linking all of them to this video. So I'll just connect it with a straight line. So now I have my armhole line. So on the neckline, I'm going to be taking the neck width standard of 3 inches so that I can draw my shoulder slant. So for the shoulder slant, I'm coming down by 1 inch and I'll connect it to the neckline of 3 inches. This is a standard in adult dressmaking. So on the chest line, I'm going to be marking the bust measurement 10.5 plus half inches. That was half inch, sorry, which is plus 0.5. The reason is the bust doesn't really start from the armhole, but it is bigger on the armhole side. So that's why we add half inch. I'm sorry guys, I have cold, so that's why I'm sneezing. So sorry, but I just had to do this tutorial. Okay. So for the under bust, we not really necessarily use the under bust measurement. So we'll go to the waistline, take the waist measurement. The waist 34 divided by 4 is 9 plus 1.5. We're going to be adding that of 1.5. 1.5 means 0.75 on both sides. So we're going to be adding that of 1.5. You see it when we take it. So 1.5 plus 9 inches, that's 10.5. So that's the waistline. Then on the hip, we're going to be marking the hip measurement divided by 4, which is 11.5. So mark 11.5 here on the hip line. Then on the hem of the dress, we'll mark 11.5 again, which is the hip measurement divided by 4. So if you're making it as a straight gown, you just leave it like that. But it's a fitted gown with an asymmetrical hem. So I'm going to be subtracting 1.5 from this measurement. So subtract 1.5 from this hip measurement that we took on the hem. So this is now for fitted gown. So you're making a fitted gown on your own. This is how to make a fitted gown. Now I'm going to be joining the bust to the waist and then the waist to the hip, my hip curve. Okay, just watch as I do it. And then to the hem. So if you do not have hip curve and all of that, you could use your straight ruler to do it. It's okay. Then you just try to curve the hip a little because the hip is not pointy. Your straight ruler might give you a pointy edge at the hip line, so it is better when you use a curved ruler there, but not so curvy as well. So this is basically it. So now we're going to be drawing the armhole. So just place our armhole curve like this and then draw the armhole from this point to the part where we came down by 1 inch on the shoulder slant. So I'm just going to be drawing it. So sorry, my voice is like this. I really have cold. Okay, so sorry guys, but I just have to do this tutorial. Somebody made a request of this on Facebook, and I said let me just do a tutorial. So if you have any tutorial you want me to do, please let me know. So I went down by 3.5, and I'm opening the neck also by 3.5. So we're not using the 3 inches we use for the shoulder slant. I'm opening up the neck by 3.5. So it is 3.5 down, 3.5 wide. Okay, so that's what I just did. So if you're still watching this tutorial, meaning that you're enjoying it, don't forget to smash the like button and follow us as well. Subscribe to our channel. Sorry, subscribe. Please, please, please subscribe. Okay. So now the bust part measurement is 8 divided by 2 is 4. So we're going to be marking the 4 on the bust line, the waistline, and on the hip line. So the bust span measurement, this bust span means nipple to nipple, from one nipple to the other. So you place your tape from one nipple to the other. Like I said, we have a detailed tutorial on how to take body measurement, your own measurement or the measurement of a client. So that is the measurement. So now we took 1.5 for that when we were taking the waist measurement. Okay, so that 1.5 means 0.75 plus 0.75. So I'm going to be taking 0.75 by the that leg, the one we drew now, on both sides of on the waistline. This is on the waistline now. So I'm going to mark 0.75 on this side and then 0.75 on this side. So that of 1.5 that I added, I've taken it back. That I added to the waist measurement, the round waist measurement. I've taken it back now. So for your dart, for the down part of your dart, it will not get to the hip line. So you go up by 2 inches for your dart leg. Your dart leg is not supposed to get to your hip. And it's supposed to come from your bust point. So you come down from your bust point by 1 inch. When I mean your bust point, meaning your bust line where your that line meets your bust line, okay? So you come down by 1 inch and then you draw your dart to that 1 inch. And then downward, you draw your dart to the 2 inches above your hip line. So this is how to connect to that or get the length of your dart for a dress. Then now I'm going to be taking a bust dart. So the bust dart is now the difference between the front and back, like I said earlier on. So 17 minus 16 is 1. So the bust that will be taken is 1. If your bust is 18, the front is 18, sorry, and then the front length is 18 and the back length is 16. So we say 18 minus 16 is 2, so you take 2. But here now 17 and 16 we're working with. So 17 minus 16 is 1. So you just mark 1 from below your bust line. Take note, below your bust line. So if it's 2, you mark 2 there below your bust line. So whatever measurement you get as the front length and then the measurement you get as the back length, you subtract the back length from the front length and then mark it there. So we're going to be marking using this now to create the bust dart. And for your dart, like I said, all your dart must be 1 inch from your bust point. So if you're taking the dart from your shoulder, 1 inch from your bust point, bust dart like this, 1 inch from your bust, it should not get to your bust point. Mark 1 inch first before you take all your darts, both your waist dart. So this is the waist dart. The first dart is the bust dart. This is the waist dart. Make sure it is 1 inch from the bust point, which is that part we have triangle. So we're going to be getting the midpoint of this dart now, which is half. Then come out by ½ inch. This is not compulsory. We're just doing this so that when we cut the pattern, by the time we close the darts, we will not have shortage of um pattern there. So we're just adding extra pattern there so that when we close the darts, there will be no shortage of pattern. But if you forget to do this, there's no problem. When you close the dart, whatever shortage is there, you could just add pieces of paper and then use your tape to attach it and then you cut it out. So this is basically it. So next we're going to be creating the style lines on this pattern. We're going to be creating it now. And creating the style lines, we're going to be duplicating this pattern on the other part of the, the dress. So first of all, I'm going to be eliminating the darts. So this is dart elimination. So that 1.5 waist dart, we're going to be eliminating. So we just took it on the side, that 1.5 inch that we took as waist dart. We're taking it out again. So this is dart elimination. If you want to know more about dart elimination and dart transfer, you can join our ready to wear class that will be starting soon. You will learn basically all of that, and also the sewing tutorial for this dress you will learn is also in our ready to wear class. I'm going to be showing you how to make the back pattern, how to eliminate bulge and back bulge. You know that bulge you get when you wear a dress at the zip part. I'm going to be teaching you how to eliminate it perfectly, how to take that at the back perfectly, and then also how to transfer your darts and all of that, and how to sew this dress. So you're going to be learning that in the that manipulation class. So if you're interested in that class, please let us know. Okay. So I'm going to be using my tracing wheel now to trace all the lines so that we can use it now to get a duplicate of it on the other part. You know the paper, our pattern paper is on fold and then we want it to be open, like an open body. So I just tracing all the lines so that I'll just draw it. So this is actually the purpose of a tracing wheel. So just tracing it like this, tracing all the lines, it will help us to get the markings, and then redrawing the lines is going to be easy. So I'm just going to be doing this process for all the lines till the end. So now that I'm done, I'll open up the paper, our pattern paper. Now I'm going to be following. Now you may not really see it because it's on camera. On camera, I may not really see the marks from the tracing, but now I've traced it out. I've drawn the line, but tracing will actually give me the lines I want. So going back to our dress, beautiful. First of all, I'm going to be working on the chest, which is the keyhole neckline. So I'll be coming down by 3 inches there. You can see it. So came down by 3 inches. While there on this other part, I'll be using that dart leg. So this is still more of that manipulation. So well, if you really want to learn how to manipulate that to get different stylines, if you join our dart manipulation. Okay, so I marked 2.5. Then from the 2.5, I just placed my curve rule to get the second curve, and then I made the curve to be a little bit below the chest line. So I'm going to be cleaning the chest line on that part of the um, basic pattern. So this is basically it. So this is now the new curve. So don't forget, on the first curve we made, I marked 2.5 and then did another curve with the curved ruler. So you could use your free hand, and then maybe later you could just use your curved ruler to get your curves. It mustn't be this particular ruler. You could use any ruler. So I'm going to be labeling it. This is fabric 1, and then this part now is going to be fabric 2, because we're working with different fabric. You can see it. We have an off-white fabric and a black fabric on the picture we're working with. So the off-white fabric now is the fabric 1 up there, and then the black is the fabric 2. So the next part of the dress is coming from the hip to the knee. So going up from the knee line by 6 inches. I'm just working with 6 inches. You know, when you're analyzing style, you just try to see it's like, okay, how many inches did they work with and all of that. So I'm going to be using a free hand to try to draw those curved lines. It's called style lines. To draw those style lines, then when I'm done, as soon as I get exactly what I want, I can use my curve rule now to sharpen the lines. So with my free hand, I'm just going to get the style lines. Okay, it's very faint now because I'm just trying to get the lines, so I'm making it faint so that I could easily erase if it's not coming out well. So I've gotten the first line. I'm going to check and then get the second one. So for between the first and second one is about 2 inches or 2.5. I'm just going to be marking 2.5 inches. Then close to the end, it became wider. So we're just trying to copy. So this is basically how to copy a style. When you see a style, just try to use um your eye to check to eyeball it to check how many inches, distance apart and all of that. You might not really get exactly the inches, but you might really come close to it because you're not the original designer. So you might not really know how many inches they use. So I'm just going to be sketching it out. I'm going to make it a little bit um darker. I'm going to make the lines darker when I'm sure of what I'm doing, or I'm sure I've gotten the shape I want. I'm going to make the lines darker so that you could see it. So let me just start making it darker so that you could connect with me in this class. So basically, I'm just trying to use my curved rule to follow the curve that I did now with freehand. So this is basically how you're going to create style lines in any outfit you're making, especially when there is no dart in that part. Like for this part, there is no dart on this part of the dress. So we're just freely creating style lines here. Okay, so from the picture we're following, we're getting close to achieving it. Okay, so if you want the pattern of this tutorial and also the sewing process is going to be in my ready to my that manipulation class. We have a class, that manipulation, where you really learn how to create beautiful stylines, how you learn how to manipulate that, how to transfer that, how to eliminate that. You're going to learn all of that. You're going to learn slash and spread. It's a very, very detailed class. So you could join the class. If you join the class, you're going to see this tutorial and even more. You're going to learn how to make different type of outfits. You're going to also learn the sewing of this dress. I'm going to be showing it in the class, but I just dropped this tutorial free here for those asking. So well, just don't miss out in that class. So this is basically the first one. You could make it longer than this, the pointy part, you could make it longer than this, but the gown length I used is 45. You could use gown length of 46, 48, depending on what you want. So you just make it from your knee length to the gown length. This line before the hem is the knee length, so just make it from your knee length to your gown length. So basically I just decided to use 3.5 inches apart from each of the curves. I'm just trying to create what we're seeing there. Okay, so that's just basically it. When you use faint lines, if you're comfortable or satisfied with the outcome, then you could just use your pencil and get a better line. Okay, so that's basically how to do it. Okay, so I'll just keep doing it. So I'll just allow you watch and see it, and then it can also give you an idea on something to create. That's why you're a fashion designer, so you should be creative. The style can give you an idea of something to create. So you mustn't really make exactly this style, but if you have this in mind, well, it's a very, very easy tutorial. And yes, it is beginner friendly. So if you're a beginner, with this tutorial, you could easily make a basic gown pattern and then style it just the way we are doing now. So I'm still going to mark another 3.5 inch apart. Like here, and I'm using 3.5 inch apart or for all. Like I said, I'm just trying to copy the style. Okay, where you really know when your style is coming out well is from your outcome of your pattern when you're done with your pattern drafting, the outcome, and then your sewing technique. So that's very important. So this is the pattern drafting. The sewing technique, like I said, is going to be treated in the dart manipulation class. So I really, really want you guys to join that class. Okay, so this is it. And this last part, if you check the style very well, you see that this last part is just flat, stops on the knee length. So that is basically it. So this is the pattern. I'm going to label all parts now. So that's fabric 2. So this will be fabric 1, the white parts, and then this is fabric 2, again the black parts. This is fabric 1, again the white part or the off-white or the gray. Then this is fabric 2. Okay, now another thing I'll let you know is when you have two parts meeting each other, you try to label it so that when your patterns are scattered, you know where and where meets each other. I'll be discussing more of that in the dart manipulation class, how to sew curvy lines, how to sew pointy points. I'm going to be learning all of that. Okay, like now I just want to extend the line. I said it earlier on that you can make your gown length as much as 46, 48. Yeah, I did 45, but since I'll be working this, I just changed my mind, and so I'm increasing the length of the gown, so thereby increasing the pointy points, our asymmetrical hem. I'm going to be increasing it. Basically, I'm just increasing it. So this is it. So this is our first point, and then the second one. So I'm just trying to, draw new points. And then our third point. Okay, so you can choose to cut it on the first one we made, or you can choose to come down with this. Now it's not looking like it's making sense until we cut it out, then you understand for a beginner. But for those who are advanced designers, seeing this pattern already, you already know that we've achieved this type perfectly. But for a beginner, you might still be getting confused, but as soon as we cut it out, you see the old style line. So I'm just going to be labeling them. So I'll say here A and then here A, maybe B, B, so I'm just labeling like this, CC, so we just know, okay, if my pattern, let's assume my patterns are parts, when I'm placing it on fabric, I know these parts, they meet each other. So I'm just going to be labeling there just like this all around. Okay, even on the upper part here we have the keyhole. I'm also going to label so that we know the parts, the meat. Okay, so this is basically it, and now I'm going to be cutting it. When I'm done labeling, I'll just cut it out, and then you see the cutting process. Okay, so first of all I'm going to cut following the shape. So I'll cut out the basic gown shape out. Going to be cutting out the basic gown shape. Then we're going to cut the style lines and then remove all the parts we do not want in the dress. So that's what we're going to do. So carefully cut, and I'm going to also show you how to close the bust dart. We already eliminated the waist dart, so I'm going to be showing you how to close the bust darts. The bust dart was added to make our front and back equal. The front and back lengths are not equal. The front length is longer than the back length, so we want to make it equal. We added our bust dart. Okay, so the bust dart is what is going to make it equal. So I'm just going to cut the neckline. We're cutting the keyhole neckline out now. Okay, just following it up like this to cut. Okay, so I'm going to be cutting that part out to get the hole. That's why it's called keyhole. HOLE, hole, like holo hole. So that part is out. We'll be taking that part away, discarding that part. Now you can see the keyhole formed already. Beautiful. Now, so this is the first tie line. So now cut that style line open. We're going to move the dart from down and then close it. Okay, so that's the dart. You just use your paper tape or your cell tape, and then you just close it like this. So this is basically it. This is the dart. Okay, then we'll open up the other parts of the down and then close the second dart. So just opening it up already, we can also close the second dart. Okay, so we're going to be closing the second dart. Move it from the down up. You don't close it from up down, you move from down up. That's how you close your dart. So yes, from down like this, you just take it up. So this is how to close your dart, and then you can use your scissors to uh, shaping the sides. Shaping the sides. So I'm going to be cutting the other part of. I'm sorry guys, I have cold. So I'm going to be cutting the other part, the other style lines, and this I'm going to be cutting it all out. So let me thank you guys for watching. So don't forget to share this tutorial with your friends and your loved ones. And if you have any tutorial you want me to make a video on, please let me know in the comment section, or you could send us a message on any of our social media platforms. I'll try my best and then make tutorials on it. Okay, we also have other classes selling right now. We have a ready to wear business of ready to wear class selling. So if you're thinking of doing a business, you don't know what to do, or you want to go into you want to expand your business, your tailoring business, where you could join that class. I didn't just teach how to make some beautiful ready to wear outfits. I also taught how to do business, how to market it, and any business person can also join that class. It will help you also sell any other goods or sell any other products you're into. Okay, so that class is a very detailed class that everyone should join. We also have a kiddies ball class where you're going to cash out this December. It's a very, very detailed class as well. The class is going to be a seller for you, so you just don't want to miss it. You're going to make lots of money from that class. So arranging all my patterns together, you can see it. We have changed the style. So this is the end of our tutorial. It is so beautiful. Thank you guys for watching. Bye bye.